Relocation of the evacuees is not being carried on at the sacrifice of national security. Only those evacuees whose statements and whose acts leave no question of their loyalty to the United States are permitted to leave. All information available from intelligence agencies is considered in determining whether or not each individual is eligible to leave. Those who are not eligible to leave have been moved to one center to live, presumably for the duration of the war. The others, established as law-abiding aliens or loyal Americans, are free to go whenever they like. Thousands already have gone.
When they got all of us in camp, they reclassified us as 4C, that's enemy alien. So we're not an American citizen no more. And then come in the fall of 43, they reclassified us again and classified as 1A, ready for the Army. And I think, that's where many of the younger generation that turned 18 in camp, went to high school, they turned 18 in camp, and they got drafted. They didn't go through that time that their status was from 1A to 4C, 4C back to 1A. But when I turned 21, I knew I couldn't vote. So I asked my administration there, says, I'm 21, I'd like to register to vote. And actually they laughed at me. They said, you don't get to, you're not going to get to vote. Here we can't vote. We're been flip-flopped back and forth. And meantime, I got a call for draft in camp in Tule Lake in March of 44. And I asked my father, says, what you think? He says, well, it's your call. You make your own decision. He says, I'm not going to influence you one way or the other. So I decided not to go, not to make the call. So he said, well, you're like in a fishbowl. He says, we always come after you. Easy, there's no problem, come after you. So in July, first part of July, the court opens up in Eureka. They have what they call the summer court. It's just kind of pleasure type of thing for the federal judge. I never told anybody at work that I'll be gone for a while because I didn't know how long I'll be gone. And but the thing is, the camp itself was so unsettled that you don't want to talk to anybody about it, good, bad, or indifference, because they'll take it the wrong way and they get shot down or something like that. So a lot of people didn't know that I went to jail a short time, a week and a half. We were in county jail at the Eureka. We stayed in county jail. We marched down the street, going from the jail to the courthouse. I mean, everybody was out there booing at us, They drove up from San Francisco, and the attorney named Hill says, well, we got these Japs here. They're draft dodgers. We got them jail. I got them written up already. All you do is hit the gavel, and we'll send them to federal penitentiary, because they're draft evaders. Judge Goodman said, I said, I haven't even seen this case. I haven't heard about this case. I want to kind of review it. But Attorney Hill couldn't convince him, so he said, well, this is not right. So he appointed another attorney, court attorney, a guy named McGowan from San Francisco. He came up from San Francisco and looked at it and said, we have to rewrite this case. This is not right. So, not knowing this case was coming up, he was not prepared for it. He had no books on it. They went to the library. There was not really anything in the library, public library. But anyway, just reading through the lines and reading, so dug up the law, the Selective Service Act. It says only free Americans shall be drafted into the U.S. Army. So when the first day we got there, he lined us, all of 27 of us in front of him, and says, what kind of condition are you living under? Are you free to go in and out of camp or whatever it may be? He says, no, so you have to get permission, an army escort, whatever it is. In other words, you're not a free person. He says, no. So the court case went on for a week, and finally came down to the wire. And it was Saturday morning, and knowing that Eureka was a kind of a tourist town, because after the Chinese were there, they got through using the Chinese for their work. They told them, says, all you Chinese get out of here. If you don't, we'll just push you out the ocean or we'll kill you. So that's the kind of people that lived up there. So Judge Goodwin heard about that story. So Saturday morning, he loaded up his car, and with his secretary, she loaded her stuff in the car. The courtroom's still standing. I went to visit the court. The court is on the second floor, and downstairs they had the car, the engine running, banging the gavel. It says we're not given due process of the law. The Selective Service Act says only free Americans shall be drafted into the U.S. Army. The case dismissed, they're exonerated, they go back to Tule Lake Camp. And they just ran downstairs, took off for San Francisco, went home. And you know, to this day, there's quite a few of them that all other camps, they were all charged for draft evasion. And I think President Truman saw the fallacy of the court ruling. And so he pardoned all the draft evaders, as you probably know, all the draft evaders, and gave them this full citizenship back again. Because actually the judge did not read the law properly, right? But still, the damage was done. The people, the fellows that were the draft evaders, so-called, when they got home, it was really a sad situation, because they couldn't even say that they were draft dodger, even though, like our case here, we were on the first one out of all the bunch, all the camps, that Judge Goodman says we were free. So, meantime, Heart Mountain, they came along there. I think their case came up in September. The judges, draft evaders. The Colorado, there's draft evaders. Minidoka, the draft evaders. So it depends on which judge. Like the judge in Colorado, they gave him 18 months of hard labor. So they went down to Arizona desert and broke rocks to make roads. And they spent 18 months down there. They got sentenced 3 years, but the guys in Tule Lake, they were exonerated. They're free to go back to Tule Lake again. Attorneys would not even stand alongside of the, what do you call it, plaintiff, in front of the judge. And the poor guy here, they're just out of high school, teenagers, and they have to stand in front of a federal judge. You never stood in front of a federal judge. And how do you plead? What did you come here for? You're being charged as a draft evaders. What else do you say? I guess so. Because there was no communication as far as we're concerned with them, that we were freed, because the judge felt that we were not given the due process of the law. So, and just made a big mockery of it. You have to read the book, Eric Muller's To Die for a Country. It just shakes you up. They're still paying for it right now, even though the general public kind of forgot about it. So a lot of them took it to the graves with them.